It's Friday, the weekend is upon us. Hope you've had a good day and your week has been a fruitful one. Welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. Thank you for joining me this evening. And let's just dive straight in with a price action analysis. This is a weekly time frame on the good old Chicago Merchant Exchange or Mercantile, something like that. CME, we all know it as CME. And yeah, you can see here this weekly candle is going to close rather bearish. No surprises there. The writing's been on the wall since about Tuesday. And you can see just 2 hours and 40 minutes for Bitcoin to prove me wrong by getting up to 65,000. It's not going to happen. So it's still consolidation. I mean, it's the most boring of boring of boring. And like, look at the monthly. Oh, yawn. Like, I mean, it doesn't look particularly disastrous. And it certainly doesn't look particularly exciting if you're looking for upside. You know, this is exciting. This is exciting. CME doesn't have the same history as Bitstamp, for example. This is exciting. This is very dull. And in fact, it's almost a predictive sequence. So this all started in March, right? And when, you know, I remember doing the videos in March thinking, oh yeah, Bitcoin's at all-time new high. Probably pull back a bit and then carry on. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, this is the 5th month since then, or including then. No, 5th month since then. And not a lot has happened. And what has happened has been a bit down, sideways and down. But look, green month, red month, green month, red month, green month, red month. So I'm going to make a wild prophecy that September will be closed green on CME for Bitcoin. And I'm also going to make a wild prophecy that it won't be any lower than 50,000 or any higher than 75. Now that's golden. You don't get that kind of specific advice on any other trading or investing channel. I know, it's completely useless. I can hear what you're saying now. Simon, get on with it. And so I shall. All right, so that also closes in 2 hours, 37 minutes. So it's going to look like that. That doesn't look bad, by the way. Forget about all the naysayers. Okay, so I'm going to skip back to Bybit now to look at the rest of the time frames. Monthly looks exactly the same as CME. Let's jump down to the daily, and I just need to throw on my trusty momentum indicator. Yes, the friendly MACD, and here it is. And you can see, as of yesterday, I think it was, yeah, as of yesterday's closure, even though it's horizontal and has been, looks like this is going to be the 3rd day in a row which is horizontal. So massive squeeze on volatility. I'll show you on the Bollinger Bands in a second. You can see that it did indeed close below the 0 line. So technically momentum is now to the downside on the daily time frame, but there's not a change in trend, because for me personally, to get a change in trend, I need to see a daily closure, very specifically, below 57.5. And if I'm being super cautious, I also don't want to see any wicks down past 56. But keep it simple, daily closures below 57.5. And yeah, it's going to keep falling unless Bitcoin makes a $15 move from where it is, $1,500 move from where it is at the moment. Have I added that up right? 59. Yes, I have. Which with only, well, there are 5 hours left until Bybit closes its daily candle. Maybe not. Okay, now let's just check. Actually, I think the Bollinger Band, I haven't looked at the Bollinger Band on a daily for ages, but you can kind of see what the Bollinger Band is going to do, right? This was volatility expansion to the downside. It then bounced up, probably hit the top. And I promise you now, I haven't looked at the Bollinger Band on the daily time frame before I did this video. I think it then broke through the midline of the Bollinger Band round about there, hit the bottom again but didn't expand, and now I suggest it's probably just under the mid band. So let's have a look. You can just see it. Once you look at charts for so long, you can just see these things. I'm not special. I mean, it might be special in a few different ways, but I just look at charts loads. But a Bollinger Band, as you all know, is invented by John Bollinger in the 80s, I think, to represent both trend and volatility. And it does that in a marvellous way. Some say better than previous, than more subsequent indicators. And I certainly said expansion to the downside. I think I said it broke through a bit further up, but it broke through the midpoint here. There was a bit of expansion to the upside, and then came back. I didn't guess that the momentum had, not the momentum, the volatility had squeezed in between, which it did here, and then it had expansion to the downside. But it did basically come back down. Look at the Bollinger Band levels. They came down to a similar level as over here. And then, yeah, it's hovering around the midpoint. So that was kind of right. And I promise you, I didn't look at that before on the chart. Did not look at it. So, and that's not to show off. It's just, I'm just saying that you can, every indicator you put on the chart is backward looking. They all are. They absolutely all are. They have to be, because you can't look forward. You can hypothesize about the future, but you just don't know it, right? This game would be way easier if you did. So yeah, everything you look at is retrospective. And when you kind of get used to looking at price movement, you can just see these movements without putting the indicator on. But it's nice to have the indicator because it puts it all into black and white or green, blue and red. So yeah, you can see a bit of a squeeze on the volatility there. So this is high volatility following this move down. Well, it was high volatility until that started contracting. So it was high volatility up until this candle, then it started contracting. You're trying to get a counter move when you get contraction in volatility. So there's the original move, counter move, and then just sideways. So basically for continuation either way is kind of what I said. So this is the low, and you can see the Bollinger Band's just picking out the wick. So to get expansion of volatility, widening of the Bollinger Band to the downside, then it's got to start closing dailies back below here. But to do that first, it's got to close dailies below what I said, 57.5 or whatever it is. And then it's got to get back up here, obviously, to continue the uptrend, which doesn't look particularly exciting at the moment. But that's what the game is at the moment. It's about lack of excitement and see who stays around and keeps their eye on the ball for the good stuff to come. We hope. No, I'm sure it will. As the global liquidity increases and M2 picks up and all that jazz, then risk-on assets, Bitcoin being the most risk-on of them all, start to fly. Fly. I also want to make a quick comparison while I've got your attention. You see how Bitcoin moves. Now, just bear in mind what Bitcoin is, right? It's relatively new. I mean, it's not that new. It's like, I think Bitstamp goes back to 2011, 2012, right? So it's got 12 years under its feet, skin, whatever. It's 12 years old on the charts that you can see on TradingView, right? And if you look, particularly in this last bull run, but it kind of holds for the whole of its history, it goes sideways, makes a move, goes sideways, makes a move, goes sideways, makes a move, sideways, make a move, sideways, right? You see the point I'm making? I don't want to labour it too much because I value your time. Have a little look at Tesla. Right? I've just switched to weekly on Tesla. because it's slightly more, got a slight longevity over Bitcoin, but only by about 12 months. Even more obvious. Sideways move up. Sideways move up. Pretty much sideways apart from, that was COVID, right? No, that wasn't even COVID. Well, that was just a bear market of 2022, 2023. But pretty much sideways. I wonder where it's going to go next. I don't think it's going to go down. That's not a trade secret. I have no contacts with high and mighty people like Elon Musk. But just look at what they're doing, you know. The robot, the cars that can drive themselves. But I think what people might not be thinking about is that's going to revolutionise the taxi world. Well, the taxi world in the whole world. So, man, like Tesla's got some upside to come, I may humbly suggest. I won't be surprised if, look, it's not even that expensive, it's like $200. I don't know. It seems like $1,000 stock to me, but that's not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. Do what you want. But what the point was, it seems to move in a similar way. It's just an observation. Take it with a massive pinch of salt. And of course, Tesla is basically a tech stock. That was the parallel I was going to draw. Okay, that's enough of that. Back to Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame. Oh my goodness, what a range. Oh my goodness, what a range. A range with a half, I tend not to swear because I want my son to watch my videos one day when he's old enough. But that is a pathetic breakout. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of as I've said before. Personally speaking, 57 for 4 hours and dailies, coming back down to low 50s in all likelihood, with maybe a little stop around 50, 54 and a half. And, well, I think probably for more upside, dailies and 4 hours and dailies back above 62. Yeah, 57 to 62. It's as simple as that. And I will leave you because that's 13 minutes of your time. I appreciate you spending it with me. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you got something out of it. And if you didn't, well, sorry. But don't come back tomorrow because I'll be doing another one. And like and subscribe. That'll be absolutely marvellous. Take it easy. Catch you tomorrow.